My name is Hendry. I am a fourth-year business student attending Pacific Adventist University, taking accounting and management. One of the courses that I've taken is business research method, where we given several topics to study on, to do research. And one of the topics that I've been looking at is barriers to banking services in rural Papua New Guinea. Our main question for this presentation is what are the barriers to access financial banking services in rural Papua New Guinea? And the sub-question that I've derived from the main question is, there are four of them. The first one is how does the distance to the nearest banking facility and the quality of transportation correlate with accessing banking services in rural PNG. Second one is, what is the relationship between financial literacy levels and the utilization of formal banking services among the rural population. The third one is, are there any significant cultural or social factors that act as barriers to accessing formal banking services in rural PNG, and how can this be quantified or addressed and being measured? And the fourth one is, how does the availability and reliability of mobile phone network coverage and internet access in terms of technology influence the adoption of digital financial services in the rural areas in our country? Our objectives for the research is to measure the impact of geographic factors. That is one of the main objectives that we will be looking at, because Papua New Guinea is full of vast geographic places and with different demographic regions. For example, distance to the nearest bank, or like transportation infrastructure, road, and access to banking services. The second one is to measure the perceived impact of financial literacy and awareness on the usage of banking services or the utilization. And the third one is to quantify or measure the role of technological infrastructure in terms of mobile phone networks and internet access in facilitating or hindering access to digital financial services. That's the third objective that throughout the research we will be trying to meet. And the fourth one is to identify and quantify any perceived cultural or social barriers influencing the adoption of formal banking. The main research approach that we will be looking through is a quantitative approach. It will be used to provide measurable and statistically significant insights into the barriers, and allowing for evidence-based recommendation and targeted interventions to improve financial inclusion in Papua New Guinea. The main target area and the sample, the target population is especially, we'll be dealing with adults of 18 years and above, which are the residents of Papua New Guinea in rural areas who are literate, if they know how to read and write. The sampling method that we will be used to do our sampling to find research on is stratified random sampling, which will be employed to ensure representation from different rural regions and different levels of remoteness. This will involve dividing rural populations into strata based on geographic location. For example, to province and then to districts, and then we will be choosing what remote location in the district. It will be based, Papua New Guinea is divided into 4 regions, but in each region we will choose only one province, and we will be we will target only a district which includes a rural area in the district. So we will select a random selection participant from each stratum. Our data collection instrument is a structured questionnaire which will be primary data collection instrument. The questionnaire will include both close-ended and scale questions to gather qualitative data. So it will be given to the locals. For the questions will be in Likert scale or stratified, so that it will be easier for the locals to answer them in simple language. In terms of ethical considerations, there will be an informed consent provided where participants will be fully informed about the purpose of the study, the data collection procedures, and their rights to refuse to participate in attempt to questionnaire, and the confidentiality of the response before providing their consent. The limitations of the research study, there are 3 points outlined. The first one is this design captures data at a single point in time and cannot establish causality. And then reliance on self-reports data may include biases, and the non-response biases could affect the findings despite the efforts to maximize response rate. The main expected outcomes and the significance of this research study on the barriers of financial services in rural areas around Papua New Guinea is expected to provide robust qualitative evidence on the key barriers hindering access to banking services in rural Papua New Guinea. The findings will be valuable for policymakers, financial institutions around the country, development organizations, and future research to gain deeper understanding of multi-faced barriers to banking services in rural Papua New Guinea and contribute to evidence-based strategies to enhance and mitigate the barriers to enhance financial inclusion in rural setting in Papua New Guinea. Thank you, and that's all.